Today I will be showing you how to turn a hat box into a dinosaur land. So first you'll need a good sized hat box, a round box. You'll also need a knife, so adult use only. You will need to find the join. There's always a join in the box. Find that first, get the knife and slice down until you get through. Take your time to do it. Then come along the other side, find wherever you want to cut it, and you go down that side as well. Take care because there isn't a line there. You will need to do it quite slowly. And then from the bottom, as I've already done this, it will come away quite easily. So you just get your knife at the bottom, start a tiny bit at the bottom here, and then you'll find that it'll come away, and you'll just need to edge it off, and the whole thing will come away into one piece. And there you have your stage for the Dinosaur Land. You can actually use the lid of the hat box for an extra sturdy base by pressing that in. You can either do that now or at the end. As you can see, I've put that on now, so there's the top. Makes it more sturdy and gives you a lip round here, and just makes it much more firm. I think that's a pretty good idea, and then you can start your design. Now it's all covered in white paint. I used emulsion. You can probably use other white paint. With regards to other painting, I prefer to use acrylics, but obviously you can use poster paints, etc. But I think starting with a white base is always much easier. Now my little girl is adding the sand after a big thick layer of glue. She's now sprinkling the sand on to make the base. Once the sand is all dried, just get rid of any excess sand, and then you're left with a sandy base. We also did sand on some greaseproof paper, did the glue and sand, and that's going to be the start of a volcano. Now you're ready to paint. So what I've done, I've masked with masking tape around so that my daughter can paint the top blue for the sky. Now she's painted the sky and a bit of green on the sand, and she's ready to decorate. Right, next you will need some cuttings from the garden or wherever you can get your cuttings from. You just need things like ferns, they make good things, and anything with a twig. So obviously that needs an adult to cut them off. Then you'll need a scour, sponge, or any type of sponge, quite a firm one, and then we cut that in half and then sliced it in half again. And as you can see, we've put the twigs and things inside. We need to make that secure, so that's going to be glued and then stuck together so it can then go in the model. As you can see, we've done two arrangements of the ferns and twigs. Used lots of glue to glue the sponge back together and all around the twigs so it's nice and firm when it dries, and then stuck those in there. The actual sponges we will be covering with some green tissue paper. Also my daughter painted the volcano, so we used red, yellow, a little bit of orange and some gold paint. With the paint, we put the paint on and then we got water to water it down and just tapped on the actual paint until it kind of dripped down. So it takes a little bit of time, but it does actually work and it all drips down quite naturally. We also used some acrylic sheets in red and yellow to come out as well, just to give it a bit of character, and some stones around the edge, which we also painted with some gold and reddish paint. And we've done a little bit of water there, again with some blue acrylic sheet and blue paint underneath to make a little water feature. My daughter is now making clouds out of cotton wool. She has now glued the clouds in place onto the sky, onto the model. We also finished the tissue paper as discussed earlier, where that's now around the bottom of the trees over the sponges. Next we wanted to do some flying pterodactyls. So my daughter drew this one. She is 5 years old. I then copied these on the printer and printed them off onto some card, like a greeting card. And then we cut them out and she coloured them the other side. We then put them on straws, drinking straws, the bendy style, and the shorter end we glued onto the side of the box with Yoo-hoo glue. We've used gems for eyes as well, so you can adjust the straws to where you want them flying on the model. Next we wanted some small dinosaur eggs, so in this case we have used the glass nuggets that you can get, and we printed off on some paper some dinosaurs in eggs, and then we glued them with PVA glue to the bottom of the stone, obviously facing upwards, and there you have 2 eggs. Here are the dinosaurs for the Dinosaur Land. We have an Ankylosaurus, a Brachiosaurus and a T-Rex. These have been made out of self-dry clay, moulded by myself and my daughter, and we have painted 2 of them, the T-Rex and the Ankylosaurus. You can opt to buy the dinosaurs from shops. Most toy shops would have dinosaurs these days. I decided to go for self-drying clay as I thought it would be quite fun to try and do, and a bit of a challenge, and it was fun but very, very messy. With the T-Rex I used eggshell for the teeth and broke it up, just pushed the bits of eggshell into the clay. Once the dinosaurs have been painted, use a varnish to finish them off. A gloss or matte varnish is fine, depending on what type of finish you would like. On the back of the model we have done some little fact sheets for visitors to read, along with a picture of the dinosaur. So we've done that for each one of our models, all the way around the back of the box, like so. For signage, you have a restricted sign all painted on the front there. And then for the Dinosaur Land Park, there's one to go on which just need to attach to the box. And then you've got signs here. These are all on the wood lolly sticks. This will go inside with the dinosaurs. And all I've done there is attach to a peg, and then we'll glue the peg into the box. This is a person coming from underneath, and for this we will be using a dome and putting the dome over and gluing it down. So that's a view box. The dome came from a little Play-Doh, so it was the top of a Play-Doh, so you can always recycle things from other bits and pieces you've used for the children. And there we have our completed model of the Dinosaur Land Park. I ended up putting the signs and stuck it to the lip instead of on the peg because I didn't have enough room to put the peg in. And you've got the person in the dome, dinosaurs, a volcano, and sign for the park. Good luck with making yours.